Hi.
Hi, I'm Londyn.
I'm Kristen.
And we are the dyers behind K&L Fibers.
This is like our podcast where we talk about like knitting, crochet,
Life,
felting, life, cross stitch, everything.
all of the above.
It's Saturday, the 17th of May.
It's already 17th of May.
At like 10:30 in the morning. So we got up bright and early this morning. Some of us got up earlier than others.
Dude, I was up early. I also went to bed way later than you did.
You did.
So much later.
So it's like life updates. We're actually having like a cool spurt come through. It's supposed to be in the 80s the next couple days.
I'm very excited for that because I just can't deal with the heat.
As always, we have dogs out, so
yes,
dogs.
They'll be there somewhere.
What else is happening? My husband is coming into town today. Very excited, very excited.
Yes, that's exciting. My house is still in chaos.
Well, yeah, but you were sick again.
Yes, sick again. So, still trying to get my house set up for moving a month ago. Just work is fun, I guess.
Winnie.
Work is fine.
Down. Now.
I'm excited for Memorial Day weekend. I'm going on a trip, so that'll be good.
Get
Going
down.
up to the mountains to get away from the heat. So, that'll be fun.
Oh my god.
That was a dog butt in your face.
It was a dog butt in my face. She just kept putting her toy on
Finished projects?
knitted objects, and she's a boxer, and so she drools, and that's not what I want on my knitted objects.
I would not want that either.
So then I threw her toy on the ground, hoping she'd get on the ground, and she's not on the ground. So here we are.
Stubborn.
I know. I have a birthday next week. I'm not as excited as I used to be about birthdays, but my husband sent me a gift. It's sitting in a box I'm not allowed to open until my birthday, and then we're gonna do brunch that morning and then go out to dinner.
Nice. And Andy, where are you going to go?
I was looking at steakhouses. I don't know why. I'm normally Italian.
You are. I know. That's actually catching me off guard. I'm like, really?
So I was looking at steakhouses. There's one that's up on, I want to say River.
El Corral.
No, we went there. It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's not as good as it used to be. Well, Jack remembers how it used to be when he was a kid. Sullivan's?
Yes. It's a chain.
Yeah. So we might go there.
They're pretty good.
They have like a 3-course option with like a small, like a 6-ounce steak.
Yeah.
Which I think is like the perfect size.
Yep.
It comes with a little dessert and stuff like that. So we might do that. I was looking, there's a lot of them up at like the mall that has the Apple store.
La
Cantata. I want to call it El Corral, but you just said El Corral. Yeah. La Cantata. But like it's always so busy there.
It is. So many people.
Get down, please.
Go.
Thank you. Lay down. No. Patience today. The world wants me to have patience. And I don't.
Good luck with that.
I know. Get down. So we're doing that. But my husband said wherever I want to go, no matter how far it is, we can go because it's my birthday. And also it doesn't matter the price of things. So I was looking, like steaks are like $80.
They are very expensive. One of my favorite ones that we have done within the past like 2 years is we went to Le Rendezvous, which is super sketchy, by the way. It's at Obrien, Fort Lowell, like super sketchy area. But it's a French themed restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's really good. They had like a steak for 2 option with potatoes and stuff, and it was just so good. I would totally go again and do that. So good. But yeah, no, there's lots of good. We do have lots of good options for steak. I am surprised you're picking steak though.
I know. So last year we did the Parish.
Yeah, Parish.
Which was still delicious, but I get the same thing every time. Pasta.
Yeah.
Same thing every time. I thought about, remember we used to go to that place where I get the gnocchi?
Tatarina Pina?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thought about that. I even looked at their menu and stuff like that, and I was just like, I don't know if I'm feeling gnocchi. You know what I mean? It's like kind of a heavier thing. You have to eat it right away. It doesn't like heat up well.
Transfer well.
Their dessert portions, they have really good tiramisu, but it's like, I don't know, like a plate worth, like a head size worth.
Oh yeah, no, all of their desserts are great. You could definitely split them.
Yeah. So we could do that, but he tried to do that. Actually, no, we didn't do the parish last year. We did the parish the year before. Last year, Jack was going to take me to Trattorina Pina, but he didn't realize that you need to make reservations. And also, my birthday was on a day where they were closed, and he didn't think about that. So we were driving that way.
All the way up there.
And I was like, okay, well, fallback is, I guess let's just go to Zinburger.
Zinburger's good, though.
Yeah. And then, so we were eating there, and then my brother called me to tell me that my dad was in the hospital. So, like, my only wish for my birthday this year is for no one of my family to be in the hospital. Because my mom was in and out of the hospital in May and June. And then my dad went in for high blood pressure for, like, literally he was there for a couple of hours and then he went home. But getting that phone call during my birthday dinner.
That's very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Lots of anxiety.
And not knowing what was going on, if we had to go to Yuma or what was happening. Did not have a good birthday last year. So I don't have high hopes for this year.
Just mellow. Just mellow.
Just mellow. And I've also, like, I've told my dad and I've told my brother that, and it sounds kind of rude, but if anyone's going into the hospital,
don't call me.
Please don't call me on my birthday unless it's like there's time-sensitive emergency. Like I need to get there because someone's, God forbid, someone's not going to be around.
Let's go super morbid. That's fine.
Otherwise, well, you know, people who are in grief are more realistic of like things happening.
True.
Otherwise, please don't call me on my birthday.
Just
call me on my birthday to wish me happy birthday, but don't tell me about bad things happening because I can't.
Right.
I need a mellow birthday.
All good things. Good thoughts, good wishes.
Right? Like just an easy, relaxing day. We might do brunch that morning.
That'll be fun.
I was trying to think of other things, like maybe going to the movies, but so Jack would want to see The Ballerina, which is the next in the John Wick series. I guess it's a prequel. But that comes out like 2 days after he leaves.
Oh.
I know the new Lilo and Stitch comes out, but that's not a movie that Jack will go see.
I'll go see with you though.
You will. And then How to Train Your Dragon's coming out in June, but he won't go see that.
Oh, I'll go see that. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll go. It's cool.
So there aren't really like any movies out currently, like around my birthday, Memorial Day weekend, that would be movies that I could force him to go
Final Destination?
I mean, we could, but I feel like it's not going to be as good as the original.
I don't know. I do think whoever's doing their marketing is on point because they've been doing log trucks with the sign for Final Destination behind them.
Well, and the trailer for that has like the glass and the ice.
Oh.
And I'm just like, that's like terrifying to me.
Right. Those movies, I still can't drive behind a log truck. Yeah. I don't put my hand on a garbage disposal.
Nope. Callan did that once.
Oh,
my mother-in-law was talking about how like a cup got stuck in the garbage disposal and how she had to try to reach it. I was like, let's wait till I go over there. We'll figure it out. And I just saw her stick her whole hand in that garbage disposal. And in my head, I was just like, absolutely, like, please don't do it. Like, it's so much anxiety.
Nope.
Even though it's not on, we know it's not on. It's not going to run. It's not going to magically turn on. But still.
I am way too scarred to do anything like that.
Blenders. I take the bottom off because before I do anything to clean it, because I'm not going to accidentally stab myself. Do you need to go potty, Missy? You just went out. No, get down, please. Come on,
get down. You're gonna get on the sweater.
No, lay down.
Yeah, so maybe you could go see that, see how it is.
Maybe.
But you might come out with new fears. Again.
Traumatized by new things. Oh my gosh.
By all of the things.
But yeah, that's about all the excitement. Like.
Yeah.
Very excited my husband's coming home. If only to get like hugs on a daily basis. Isn't that sad? because I'm here alone. So like, I don't get like, I get human interaction because I go out for work, and Londyn comes over. We do business stuff and stuff like that. But like, I don't get like human skin to skin contact.
Yeah.
I get puppy contact, which is Londyn's, and I still love that, and that's amazing.
It's not the same though.
It's not the same. Someone at work yesterday saw that I was crying because I was like just sad.
Yeah. And
she was like, "Do you want a hug?" And I don't know them very well, and I'm just like, "No, thank you." I appreciate the offer of a free hug. Right. But yeah. Ruger.
I looked at her for too long. That
Stop.
was the problem.
Lay down.
I looked at her eyes.
I know. What she wants is to go outside, but they literally just went outside.
They did.
Goodness. How about you come up here, please? No, don't do that. She had a rough time at the vet this week.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about knitting because we've been talking for like 15 minutes almost.
Right.
I went through a lot of my stuff that had been just sitting on the needles, kind of pushed to the side for other projects. And so I have a couple of finished objects. So what I'm wearing is the Adventuring Scarf and Wrap by Ambaj Obrien. So it's written for a 12-day or a 24-day advent. So I did mine with Yarn Cafe Creations and Dragon Hoard Yarn. Get together, they're mother-daughter, and they get together, or they did, to, dye a Harry Potter themed advent. And they did all 7 books. And each of them dyed, like every other day is the different person.
Okay.
So they each dyed 12 days. But this was year 5? Year 4?
5.
5. Yeah, because I have Dumbledore's Army and Dolores Umbridge and everything like that. I would take it off, but I really don't want to mess with it. But it is super long, and it has increases on one side and decreases on the other side. So it's like angled this way, but it stays the same length. So you always have like 300, 400 stitches on the needles the entire way, which is why it took so long. But when I picked it back up, I had like 5 colors left.
Okay, so you're almost done.
I was like, how funny that I just put this to the side when I am so close to being done. So I did that and I finished it. And then I did, this is my favorite.
It's beautiful.
So this is the Trifle Advent Shawl by Crystal T Knits. And it is using another Holiday Advent by Yarn Ink. It's just so beautiful. I love the colors for it. I love how flowy it came once I got it blocked. Didn't have an issue with like colors bleeding or anything like that. I did have the issue when I was like knitting that it would like stain my fingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was another one where I had like, I think I had half of it left and I just like powered through the other half of it and got it done. I'm pretty sure I showed it last time, but I didn't have it blocked yet. So it is blocked and done, and I've worn it to work yesterday or the other day.
Nice.
It was very nice.
Yeah, so I finished my sweater.
Nice.
Adjacent until I decide if I'm going to redo it or not. Just do a piece of it. So the sleeves are a little long on both sides. So they're just a little bit long.
Right.
So I might, that just seems like a lot of work to undo it.
She might tinker back.
I might tinker back. I might. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do because the thought of trying to undo and redo kind of makes me want to cry a little bit on the inside.
But if you did, it's really just like picking up stitches a little bit back and starting the cuff sooner.
Yeah. So it fits a little better.
So it fits better, and it would make it so that you would probably wear it more often, because I would have a concern that you're wearing that and the longer part is like catching on everything.
Yeah.
And I might cry. If it was my sweater and I caught it on stuff, I would cry.
Yes. So might undo and redo the sleeves.
Nice.
but I used our yarn.
Yep.
I used our yarn. It's Flagstaff is in our Luxe fingering based, and then the mohair is the Dune Fluff.
Right.
So it is. It's very soft. I do like it. It's comfortable. It's not super heavy, which I like because it's a little aerated, I guess.
I'm gonna let this huffle up out real quick.
Go for it.
Oh, go.
And then the pattern, like I said before, it's pretty easy to follow. This is the first time I've blocked a sweater.
Right.
So I think what happened with the sleeve is when I was washing it, it got pulled a little too much, which is why it's longer. Or at least that's what I'm saying in my head.
But they were a little bit long when you did one of them.
True. So I could go back. It doesn't have to go back a lot though.
No.
It's just a little bit.
Just like maybe an inch.
Yeah.
And that would be so much better.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how my brain decides it wants to continue moving forward.
Yeah. For a second, I thought that was my bag. I was like, "What's my bag doing out here?"
I have the same bag. So I have this done.
You had to buy more blocking mats.
I did. I had to buy more blocking mats, so I just bought 2 sets of. I think they're like 9 in each of them, because they do not fit with my original ones that I bought.
Mine don't either. Are they knit IQ?
They are not. They're just some random Amazon brand that I bought because I was like, "What can I get tomorrow to be able to actually block my sweater?" So I got everything on Friday last week. Got it blocked Friday night, and then washed and blocked Friday night, and yeah, I think it went pretty well. It's the first time I've blocked a piece of clothing before. The only other thing I've blocked is like granny's, like the swatches that we did.
Oh, okay.
No.
Like the sample swatch. They're basically like granny square size.
Yeah, basically granny square size swatches of things that we've done before. So yeah, I've done that. So this was like first time trying to figure out how to block this, which is a monstrosity.
It's a learning curve.
It is. And I was trying to do it. So it was so funny. Patrick came home Friday. My husband came home Friday. And I'm sitting on the floor in my office, just randomly configured in an odd way, trying to get the mats all down with this down, hunched over. And I look at him and I'm like, I can't get up. I'm stuck. I need help. I don't know what to do. And he's like, okay, so he sits on the floor, helps me pin everything, and he's like, how far do I make it? Is this far enough? Is this good? As he's helping me pin the sleeve. And then I scooch back and he helps me stand up and everything. And I was like, I think my legs fell asleep. As I'm sitting on the floor, and I was like, it was also 10 o'clock at night when I'm trying to pin it. And I was like, if only my dining room table were cleared off, then I could have just done it up there. But it was not.
I did, because I've been blocking shawls. So the 2 backs of it wide, right? And there's only certain, you have to have it on the floor. There's not really a lot of space to lay it on
anything.
If my kitchen table is completely empty, then sure. But I have a plant and some Legos and stuff like that up there.
I don't know if I've ever seen your kitchen table completely cleared off. Yeah. Ever. Even when we're doing going through all of our yarn. Ball banding stuff.
Yeah.
There's still stuff. It's just at the very end.
Yeah. But to be fair, it's just my husband and I when he's here, and we sit on the end of the table. So the other side of the table we don't care about. It becomes a place where we just put things. But I was on the floor with blocking mats, so I was on my knees trying to pin a shawl, and I didn't notice it until the next morning when my knees were throbbing in pain, and I'm like, okay, mid-30s is when we start having this happen, being on the floor like that, huh? It was days. My knees were sore for days. It felt like they were bruised internally or something.
Ouch. That just sounds painful. I was just sitting there trying to do it all, and I was like, everything is uncomfortable.
Yep.
I don't sit on the floor well anymore. I don't know that I ever sit on the floor well. Funny, I went over to Michaela's house yesterday, my best friend.
Right.
And her daughter is on the floor with her grandma.
Right.
And great-grandma is on the floor, too. And and she's like, Mom, Londyn, come sit with me.
No.
And I was like, I'm not getting on the floor. I don't know that I could get back up again. I'm good. I'll sit on the couch and play with you.
Right.
I'll do other things. Getting on the floor, that's hard.
Oh gosh. Sorry.
Yeah.
Allergies.
So yes, I have one project done. My goal is to have one done by next month.
Okay.
So my next one, my work in progress, will be done by next month, and maybe another one. I'm getting faster.
Right.
It's getting
it
there.
just takes time.
It is. It just takes a lot of time. And yeah, I was knitting the other day, and I kept knitting, and I was like, oh, now my wrist hurts and my hand hurts, so I had to stop it for a minute. I didn't know I had to stretch before I knit. So
and while you're knitting, taking breaks.
Yeah.
So my next project I cast on after I finished this shawl because it was a project I had started last year. And I got through the first part of the back panel of the project, and then I just kind of stopped and picked up something else, right? And then I took the needles off for something else. And then I left it knit up right in the bag. And so I frogged that out, and then I started it over. So this is in my Mrs. Brown's bag.
Super cute.
Right? It's like a denim fabric with a nice canvas bottom. It would be cool if it was wax canvas, but it's not. It's okay. But she doesn't make bags anymore, or if she does, they're super rare as a release. But I love her bags.
It's super cute.
So this is the mini mock neck tank by Jessie Maed Designs. I got through through the top shoulder panels, the back, and the armholes, and now I'm knitting in the round. This is in our blush colorway on our high twist sock yarn, so it has cashmere in it, and I love it. I love that it's kind of like, I don't know, like tie-dye watercolory.
It looks more pink than it does. Like the specific, like you can see more of the pink, like especially like,
yeah,
like
the little darker
pink than you do when it's twisted up.
Yeah. So I love it.
It
the
looks
top,
like a child sweater.
It's a tank top.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is where the arms are going to be, and that's it.
Okay.
Also, it blocks out.
True.
But it's supposed to have negative ease on it.
Oh, so it's
so
more
it fits better.
Okay.
Yeah. So once I get the body done and I do the ribbing, I will just need to pick up around the neck and do the collar, and that's it.
Are these a different stitch?
Yeah. It's the ribbing. You built the ribbing into it.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
That is really cool. That's what I was trying to figure out what it was. It's very pretty.
On the sides of the armholes, you build the ribbing into it so you don't have to do it later.
Which is really nice.
I do have, so I'm pretty sure it's going to block out, because if it doesn't, oh well. I have hair that'll cover it. On the back panel, you can see how the yarn does not lay flat like it does in these stitches down here. And that's because that's what I frogged. And it had been sitting knit up, and so the yarn was a little kinked looking. So I'm hoping it blocks out, but realistically this is going to be like up on the top part of like my shoulders, my neck, bottom of my neck area. So it's really not bad for me. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing if that doesn't fully block out and look like the other stitches. That's okay. But you can definitely tell what was previously knit and what.
Well, I was wondering if that was part of the design or not.
No. So it was just that yarn had been knit up, and when you knit up yarn, it relaxes into those stitches, and even if you didn't wash it, it'll just kind of over time do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it has been sitting for a year. Yeah. And it's very pretty. I do love the color. Similar, I mean, it's a little brighter than what you're wearing now, but
yeah,
it's very pretty. But it does. It looks a little different knit up than I actually thought it would.
But I really like it. Someone at work had said it looks, the way I said it looks like maybe tie-dye watercolor-y, because you see like the darker sections in it. Someone at work said it looked like, it reminded her of camo, and I'm like, I guess maybe pink camo? But it doesn't look like camo to me, so.
Yeah. Oh, it's very pretty.
But I love it. So I have like, I was going to try to bust through it to get it done before podcasting, but life happens. So
also, now you get to be a passenger princess and you get to spend your time in the car.
I do.
Aren't you excited for that piece?
Well, and I have another 3-hour training this week at work. That is a video training. So if it's not information that pertains to my specific job, I will possibly be trying to knit during that. And yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, that is my current whip. I do still have that other California sweater on the needles. I did not touch that. I just didn't want to mess with the floof.
I don't blame you. It's kind of a lot.
Yeah. And then I have those socks I started that I haven't done anything with. So
okay.
We're clearing off needles slowly but surely and starting some projects.
On to the second ball
Nice.
of yarn. So I am still working on the Simple Shawl by Jane at
Heathrow?
Hedgerow. Jeez, words are really hard today, guys. Hedridge yarn. So I am knitting it in white opal,
Okay.
which is a butter sport. It's the butter sport by Seismic Yarns.
Yep. Really, really, really soft yarn.
It is very soft yarn. I love it. It's beautiful. It's more pastel than I thought it would be when I bought it.
Right. It's DK weight?
It's sport weight.
Okay. Which is similar, but yeah.
Yeah. So similar. I messed up. I thought it was fingering weight, which is what the pattern calls for, and then I just didn't realize until now. As I've been there. So it's part way done. It just doesn't seem like it's big enough to be a shawl yet. And I'm at the number where it says like you could start to take it off, but I just don't feel like it's big enough yet.
So I guess it depends on how the person's gonna wear it, because if you're wearing that like how I wear shawls, which is like a scarf type thing, then that would probably be fine, because it's gonna block bigger for one.
True.
And then she can like wrap it around and tie it underneath or whatever. If she's gonna wear it like,
I feel like she's gonna wear it like the triangle way.
Yeah, so if she's gonna wear it like where you wear it with a dress and you wear it over your shoulders type of a thing,
it definitely needs to be bigger.
Then you need to make it bigger.
Yeah. But it's very pretty. I love it. I love that the way it works is that you have 2 V-stitches in here, so when it blocks, it'll be really pretty.
Yep.
I like that. I have messed up a little bit on it. One.
Did you call them V-stitches?
Yeah, there are some V-stitches. They're in here, in between. So there are 2 V-stitches.
Oh, so you have 2 rows. Is this a paid-for pattern?
No, it's a free one.
Okay.
On Ravelry.
So you have 2 rows of knit, and then you do a purl. Or wait, you're flipping it. Okay.
Yeah, flip back and forth.
So you have a row of knit, and then a purl row, and then you have a...
Knit the entire way. I don't know how it works. It's magic.
Okay, so that's just normal.
I don't know, but it looks really pretty in here.
That's just normal. That's like this. That in between,
yeah,
that bumps. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It just came out really pretty. And I like that. But there are definitely some things I didn't realize until I was like looking today. I totally missed one of the yarn overs at the very beginning.
She won't notice. It's fine.
She won't notice. I will notice, which is the problem. And then this one just went slightly to the left a little bit.
Happens.
So it's a work in progress. Like I'm going for effort, not perfection. We're trying here. But it's super pretty colors, very pastel-y, which I like. But yeah, it goes slightly to the left, like right in here, which is, it's whatever. It happens.
Well, and you can't see like the light colors in the camera very well.
No.
I wonder if. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but it's very pretty. It's like light throughout, very. It is called white opal, so it does kind of remind me of like an opal and all the different colors that can come through on them.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like a super vibrant sunset.
Right. Just nice. It's nice, and I feel like it goes with a lot of different things.
Right.
So my goal is to have this finished by next time.
Okay.
And basically, I am just guessing now at how many I'm gonna have on before I take off.
Well, okay. So you're still doing the picot edging.
Yes.
So like I had suggested, maybe doing. It's gonna take a minute.
It's gonna be
yeah,
increments. I believe it's of 5, but I could also be reading the pattern very wrong. It's odd for sure because it's an odd number of stitches on.
Okay.
The entire time. So I know it's going to be odd for sure. But it recommended like starting the eyelet section and everything at 305 stitches, and I'm already past that.
Okay.
I was like, maybe I'll do 405 because that should be roughly the same.
Right.
And then I'll start the eyelet section and the bind off, and hopefully I don't mess it up because that's the goal, is to not mess it up.
Right.
But I'm assuming because the pattern, I believe it's like you cast off 3 and then you cast on 2 and then you cast off 5. I'm assuming it's in increments of 5.
Okay.
But I also could be reading that very wrong, and I'm gonna have to watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to figure it out.
Well, and you could also, you're knitting with Chiagoo needles.
Yes.
Right? So all needle sets have a little hole somewhere on them. I mean, if they're interchangeable, they have a hole.
Yeah.
Okay. So that hole is so you can put in a lifeline. So if you take another, like a fingering weight yarn, and you thread it through that hole, and then you knit around, or knit a row, it should pull that yarn through it for you.
Interesting.
So if you knit past it and you start doing the picot and there's a problem, you could easily frog it and just pick up off of that yarn.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I didn't know that's what it was called. I just thought it was there to like tighten it.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it, but it's also like you can put in a lifeline, which is really nice.
Yes.
I think that's all we've been working on.
Yes, I'm trying to finish a pattern before I pick up a new one because then I get distracted. So, and I'm close to being done with it, so I might as well just finish it.
Right.
But now we have our happy mail.
We do. Last time we podcasted, we were talking about local yarn store day because it was local yarn store day, and so yeah, right.
It was very exciting, guys. Very exciting.
So we went to Birdhouse Yarns.
We did. It was beautiful.
It was
so much fun.
They had snackies out, and then they also had a
lady selling chocolate.
Chocolatier there.
So good.
They had like, when you made a purchase, they gave you like a little mini scheme with a little pattern, and some like special stuff for your local yarn store day.
Yes.
So we walked by and we saw these bags. So they're Deli Q's Oh Snap That bags. They are themed for local yarn store day. I know a lot of yarn stores had them. They are adorable. I haven't seen them with the handles before. And I also haven't seen them with pockets inside them.
It's fantastic. This is my first
There's
bag.
a pocket and then a zippered pouch that runs through here. So that's really awesome. I got very excited. And because it's mesh, it is the perfect material for me to put some of my pins on. So I have a spin cycle pin that I got last year when I was up in Washington. And then we bought local yarn store day pins.
Yes.
So had to get a new bag. I went in deciding I wasn't going to buy anything, and then I bought a new bag and some yarn. And then this has been teasing me at Birdhouse Yarns. I go like almost every weekend.
So pretty, and it's so soft.
Yeah, so this is Mirasol Inca yarn, and it's 84% viscose, and 36% baby alpaca, and it's a super fine weight yarn. But you can see that it has like,
it shimmers.
It shimmers without being sparkly, and it has like this halo on it. It is so pretty. I love how you're trying to hide behind. We have a guest. Her name is Ruru. She likes attention.
And she is a house hippo.
She is a house hippo. She lost a pound and a half. Aww. I got her to lose a little weight.
That's probably good for her.
I know. She's on prednisone. She gains weight easily. It's really hard to get her to lose weight. Addison's disease. Anyways, so I've seen this yarn since I got it. I really wanted some. I bought 2. I'm going to make a hat out of it. Don't know the pattern yet, but I am going to make a hat, and I'm gifting it. So this is for someone that I know that loves pink. It's her favorite color. And she lives in an area of the country that it does get quite cold. So,
who that is now.
Yep.
I was like, we talked about it. I know who that is.
I'm very excited for it. I just have to find a pattern that'll work well with the yarn.
Yeah, that's the thing is I find something that's going to work well with it, or do you have to hold it with something?
Right?
Which could work, but...
The colorway is Rose Water Opal as I drop it on the floor. It's just this really pretty... It's all about the pink today, apparently. Did you bring yours?
No, I forgot mine at home.
You got like a tan or off-white?
Silver.
Silver, okay.
So the silver to make it. They had a pattern that was there that was just really pretty to do like a shawl with. So I bought 3 of them to be like, let's figure out what I can do.
Right.
So I have 3 of those.
She's a lover, y'all.
Face planted to my thigh.
Yeah.
It's fine. So yeah, I got that, and then I also wanted to buy yarn that's not something that I typically buy, because I always buy the same colors.
Teals,
grays.
Blues, grays.
That's like my go-to color all the time. So I buy those all the time. So it's like, okay. They had a pattern out of a really pretty, like just one skein, feathered shawl.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I can try to make that. I read the pattern. The pattern's very confusing, so I'm going to have to figure it out.
So but step by step.
Step by step. Slowly but surely we will get there.
Yep.
So I got it from Cornbread and Honey.
Okay.
It's called, I didn't realize that was the name of it until I was just like, it was a pretty color and it's soft. That's the brand name, Cornbread and Honey. And I was like, that's cute. But it's called Autumn's Embrace. It's a fingering weight yarn. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards.
Okay.
So it's already spun up.
Caked up.
Caked up, yeah. So it's really pretty. It's definitely I would never go for that normally. It's not a color that I usually go for. So it's like deep,
very
orange,
fall vibes.
Yeah. So very fall-y. Got some speckles in there.
Yeah.
Tans.
Nice.
So
oh my gosh,
that was
my water
like a
bottle
whip.
and my dog tail.
So I bought that, and then I actually took one of my husband's friends, his wife, to local yarn store day after we left.
Nice.
So I went back, and then I saw these guys, which they're just cute little packages from Birdhouse.
Right.
And they have there was a small crochet hook in it. Half of the things says fold out, stitch markers.
Please stop.
And then like a gauge and some mini scissors.
Okay.
Measuring tape, all sorts of things. And I was just like, oh, that could be nice and helpful to have. So, because I keep losing my scissors. So
I do too. I have to like look for, like I have to search them out.
Yeah, it's special.
Definitely need more scissors.
So yeah, I did that. I got the snap bag as well, just because they're super cute. And I didn't have a mesh bag before.
Right.
And this is my second Delaque bag because I have their train case.
Yes, you do.
Which I like. It's nice and hard. That holds literally all of my accessories.
Okay.
That's what that is being used for right now. Is just all the accessories until I travel, but then it'll go with whatever project I'm going to travel with.
Did you see that Birdhouse has the Delaque matching colors for the train cases, but it's for needle storage? Or like circular needle storage?
Why do you tell me these things?
I know. But I saw it because I have, Delaque has cubes. And it's just like a foldable cube, but it's like made with suede. Or, I don't know, wax canvas, I think it's wax canvas. But I have one of those, and I was like, okay, well, we could also buy like this needle case. That would be kind of cool. I took pictures as an option for my birthday, but then I thought it was probably too much asking my husband to like make a stop there. Like, it's easier for him to order stuff online. So, I'm keeping it as a possible Christmas. Well, I don't do Christmas presents, but maybe my brother or someone as an idea for them. But they do have circular needle storage cases at Birdhouse right now.
Nice. That would be cool. Because
Winchester, stop please.
All of it right now is just inside the trunk case. Just everything is inside the case.
Yep.
All my like acrylic gauges. All of the extra little things that I've ever bought. All my extra stitch stoppers.
I thought you were packing like an actual project in there. Stop please.
I did previously. I like it for like when I'm traveling because it doesn't get squished.
Right.
Because it's a hard case. So I do like that.
River, please stop. Come on.
Just all the
guys.
It's fine.
I love you both. Please stop. This is the chaos we're happening this morning.
You have to stay down though. You can't come up. But yeah, so I like that one specifically for traveling.
Okay.
Just because it is a hard case, and it's every now and again just like getting it in the car, depending where I'm at. Because I'll bring like this one up in the front seat or something soft, so it won't get squished. But like if I'm packing a different project to take with me,
right?
Because who knows what I want to work on.
Stop. Come on.
So yeah, I do really like that. So I did carry that. It's just it doesn't have a ton of space. It's not as forgiving as some of the other bags.
Right. So you could stuff more in it.
Yeah. So I have to like size of the project matters for that.
Right.
But I do like that it can hold all of my accoutrement and all of the fun things in there. So the train case, I do really like it. Just it's not as big. I would really love to get that big old like backpack one that they have.
Yeah.
That one would be really nice.
We call this prairie dogging.
She just looks like a whole potato standing up.
She's a thick girl. Baby. She's also becoming hairless, so you know.
I'm gonna have a naked mole rat now.
I am.
But she's pretty.
She's pretty. She's the sweetest baby.
Yeah.
And we don't get rid of pets just because they have health issues.
No.
So as long as it makes sense to keep her and she has a good quality of life, we can get her. I'm being spammed. I think I've talked about her losing hair enough to my husband. So now Instagram is spamming with ads for these, like, they look like, I don't know, like scuba shirts for dogs, but they're UV protected.
To keep her so she doesn't get sunburned.
Yeah. So she would wear it,
really funny.
and it would cover the areas where she's losing fur. And yeah, and I was like, maybe. Yeah. If we get there, maybe.
Well, at least you have an option.
I know, right? But yeah. What else do we have going on? We've got SoCal in the fall.
SoCal in the fall, yeah, where you've got to work with.
Sorry.
Reaching out to a couple local yarn stores as well to set up, looking and see what we could do as far as trunk shows go. So once we have that solidified, we'll let y'all know then. But we will be at SoCal Fiber Festival. Is it a festival or is it a fair? Fiber Fair.
Fiber Fair, I think.
Yeah, SCFF. And
that's the weekend before Thanksgiving. So
the 22nd and 23rd of November.
So great time. It's right outside Los Angeles. It's in Pomona, California. It's at their fairgrounds, the LA fairgrounds.
The Fairplex, yeah.
Well, it's where they have the fair.
Yeah.
So fairgrounds. But Fairplex,
it's titled
they
titled it the Fairplex because it has the fair and then all the other things.
So it's pretty cool if you're in the area or if you want to travel down for it. Pomona is like the cutest little city. So we break the drive up because it's like 7 hours.
Yeah, 7-8 hours depending on traffic and things.
I drive in Arizona and Londyn drives in California because Phoenix is enough like stress for me. I don't need California stress.
As we get outside of LA, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
so
fun.
Like the constant people coming on and off and then like the slowing down and going, and it gives me anxiety. I like stare at knitting. Like I will purposely sit there and knit. Because it distracts me enough so that I'm not like an annoying passenger. I'm still an annoying passenger. But it tones it down a little bit.
A little bit. You're a little distracted so you don't pick up on every little thing.
We should try, once I'm done driving, gummies.
Yes, we can do that.
For the second half of if we don't have to set up that day.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, let's have set up while you're
if we end up going... It would make it really entertaining, though.
It would be so entertaining. I kind of want to try it.
But I did half a gummy before. I think they're 5 milligrams or 10
Oh,
milligrams.
yeah.
I did half a gummy before my husband and I took our trip last year up to Washington. And I popped the half a gummy right as we left our house. And we live like maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes from the airport.
Yeah, not bad.
By the time we got to the airport, I got out of the car and I was like already like completely mellowed out. Like, whoa.
Right.
It was nice. He loved it because he was like, your anxiety is like completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, I just lead you around. Like, I hold your hand and you just follow. And we sit down and you're completely fine people watching.
Yeah.
And you're entertained by yourself and you're good. Unfortunately, that only lasted through, after the first flight, we had to run across the airport to our second flight.
Yeah.
And it was literally running. Like, we took sweaters off and everything. And then I got a call from my brother about my mom and cried when people were boarding a plane. Yeah. So that buzz was gone at that point. But
I think the phone call had part to do with the buzz being gone. Yeah.
Yeah, fully. Nothing like saying goodbye to your mom on the tarmac. But that was gone at that point, and then I just had a headache. But
was the headache from the crying or from the weight?
I think it was from the crying because we did a test run.
Okay,
as you should, right?
Well, you
like,
should know your dose before you go.
Yeah. I've never had edibles before. It was suggested to me by one of my coworkers who smokes pot on a regular basis and all that jazz. So we did a test run. I ate half of one on a Saturday, and I sat there in our loft watching a movie. Mm-hmm. So I did that, and then my husband kept like creeping up the stairs and like peeking at me to be like, "Is she okay?
Are you good?"
And then I would giggle, and he'd come over, and he was like, "Oh, we're in a happy Kristen phase. Like, you're very giggly." And I was like, "I don't know why."
Because you're high.
But yeah, so I couldn't imagine eating a whole gummy. I feel like that would knock me on my booty.
Probably.
But I am not a pleasant traveler. I'm fine once we get somewhere, but the whole process of traveling gives me like weird anxiety feelings. So it really does mellow out a lot of that for me.
That is why we microdose my grandma. All of her anxieties. Microdose her. It's fine.
Yeah.
Much better. Much more pleasant without all the anxiety everywhere.
Right? But I can't. So if I'm traveling by myself, I don't want to do that because obviously I'm traveling by myself. Or even like at airport, like once I get to the airport, take it before you go into the airport because it's federal. Anyways.
Yeah.
Weird laws. But because I'm traveling by myself, I don't feel comfortable being under the influence.
Yeah.
So when I go up to Washington in August, I will not be because I'm traveling by myself.
Yeah.
But anytime Jack's with me or whatever, it's a good option.
It's a good option, yeah. So, yeah, we'll be in California at that point. We'll have all of our yarn and stuff.
Yeah, we're coming out with a new collection, a new logo.
Oh, we did, yes. We have a new logo.
Very excited.
We have a new motto at some point. That'll be released soon.
Right, that's part of the logo. We're just kind of getting all of our ducks in a row for that. And then what comes with that is we're going to be redoing like a lot of our current ball bands on our yarn and packaging and photos for the website and all of that stuff. So it's a huge like admin
overhaul,
but we're very excited about it.
We are. Yeah, we spent last weekend multiple hours creating it and getting things designed and ordered and figured out what we're gonna do. So this week the goal is to order the actual ball bands.
Yep.
So we can get those done, and then once your husband leaves again, we'll spend a weekend, all weekend, basically redoing ball bands because it's gonna take forever.
Which is fine. We can throw on like a crime something or series or
throw on a show.
We're also going to wait till after my husband's here to start dyeing stuff. I have someone who I do crafting with. Like we meet up at the local yarn store and we do. She crochets. I knit. So she was kind enough to do a sample for us. It is a massive shawl. but it's in some of our colorways. It's really beautiful. So once we get that washed and blocked out and everything like that, we'll start posting photos to our social media, and we'll have it for our booth, on display. We're also knitting, we have a lot of things that we've knit up in our yarn that we are going to have either wearing or on display there, so people can see what it looks like when it's knit up and different possibilities.
Yeah, and that is also a pain in the butt, in case anybody is curious.
Why is it a pain in the butt?
Depending, this took forever. This took like a year.
Well, yeah, but it's your sweater.
It is my sweater, so I can continue to wear it. But all I was thinking is when we did the Criminal Minds collection and I ended up crocheting granny squares and fingering weight yarn.
Well, but it's also because it was fingering weight yarn and we did it single crochet.
It was awful. Yeah. Never want to do that again if I can avoid it because it took so long. You did the knitting one.
I'm sitting there knitting them, and I'm getting it done so much faster. And she's halfway through one, and I finished one, and I'm done.
Oh, rude.
But we do have the person who did the test knit or the sample knit, and they have offered to crochet up granny squares or whatever for us.
Perfect.
So that's sweet. It's a really good deal. She likes our yarn, so we are currently working on a system where she either keeps the leftovers, or, which I think she did have a little bit left over from the shawl. She did keep those, which is fine. We also will dye 2 skeins of yarn for her, whatever, depending on the project or whatever is going on. So it's a nice way for her to be able to. She loves crocheting. She made this shawl in a week, which is insane to me because I couldn't even. I mean, it's huge. It used up 5 skeins of yarn.
Oh wow.
Or close to 5 skeins of yarn. So I couldn't even imagine doing it that quickly. But she loves crocheting.
Yeah.
So it helps feed her creativeness, and then she gets yarn on top of it.
Yeah. So it's a pretty good deal for all parties involved, I would say.
Yeah.
We get the finished project. She gets some new yarn that she can play around with and do what she wants with.
Yep.
And then that means we don't have to crochet anything.
Right.
Which I'm actually very excited for because
which we could, but it's also not our current.
It hurts my hand.
Happiness.
It hurts my hand.
It hurts your hand now?
It does. Because I finished that blanket. I had a blanket that I had been working on for literally years because it's a blanket and it's hot and you can only work on it very limited times in Arizona because it's too hot to have a full blanket on you for a throw.
That
I was making for my great aunt. But I finished it and I was like, my hand hurts after doing this motion 800,000 times. So I'm like, it does not bring me as much joy as knitting does now, which I did hurt my hand knitting. So I had to put it down for a little bit.
I'll do that too sometimes. I've noticed also because I wear my watch on my left hand and I feel like that is kind of a brace on it because it tightens a little bit on the joint or on the nerves, I guess. I don't know. The tendons. There we go. Tendons is what I mean. That when I've been knitting for more than an hour at a time, it feels like I need to pop my wrists, and I do pop my wrists and it's fine. But knitting has less of a big repetitive motion. It's smaller motions for me than crocheting does. Crocheting, I think I could still maybe do little projects a little amigurumi or something like that, even though that's kind of questionable because it's usually single crochet and you're holding on to a tiny little thing to get the little stitches done. Right. But unfortunately, I don't know if crochet is a good thing. I had so many more issues with irritating the tendons going up my arm. Carpal tunnel is the first signs of carpal tunnel with crochet that I don't have with knitting.
Well, no, when we first started doing this and hanging out, you do the KY tape or whatever. KC tape or what? I don't even know.
KT tape.
KT, something.
That's a totally, I don't even know if they make that. That would be interesting. But
I don't know what we're talking about here. But I remember you do
KT tape to help support because I was crocheting so quickly and the motion is so it's such a big motion.
Right.
I don't know. I can get up on almost the tips of my needles with knitting and hold it loosely and barely, it's all in the tips of my fingers.
Shuffling back and forth.
so it's a little bit easier. I do notice that so last week I had no Wi-Fi for almost the whole week. My neighborhood is still being built. So in the front of the neighborhood, they had 2 plots of land that hadn't been developed yet. It's by the show house.
Yeah,
like
the
display house. I don't know.
Eventually that house will be sold and somebody will move in. But...
Right. But currently there's 2 houses in the front that are for people to walk through to get an idea of like the models. At least 2 of the options that are in this neighborhood. And next to that was like empty plot of land for 2 houses. And they're building one of them. They got all the framing up. But while they were doing that, obviously before they do framing, they have to do plumbing and they have to do the concrete slab. And when they were doing plumbing, they cut through some fiber lines for the Wi-Fi.
Awesome.
So there were about 20 houses in my neighborhood that all have the same Wi-Fi that we all didn't have Wi-Fi for 4 days. So my house is a completely smart house. Everything in here, like all the lights are controlled by Google.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So I didn't have any of that capabilities. Also, obviously, I'm not watching TV because we stream stuff off of Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. So I was doing audiobooks and I was knitting every night. And I noticed that from knitting like for 4 hours every night or whatever, like my thumb was sore. Like I had like, I don't know, you know when you like go to pop your finger and then it doesn't pop, but it feels sore, like kind of bruised inside. My thumb was sore. And then, I think that was it. Like, I think my thumb, and then I'd wake up in the morning and like my fingers would feel a little sore, but that was about it. I was like, oh, well, we're being productive, but there's really nothing else to do. It was an audiobook, read. I guess I could have streamed stuff off of my phone, but I didn't really want to.
That's just kind of annoying at that point. Such a small screen, and then you can't really do anything else.
Right. I could have streamed it off of my phone and then, what's it called? Cast it to the TV. I could have done that, but
your battery would have died so fast.
Yeah, so I listened to audiobooks and then knit for most of the night because if my husband had been here, we would have played board games.
Yeah.
That's about. Or built Legos. We have Legos to build.
Right, you have new Lego sets to build.
But some of them are holiday ones, and then so those won't be built. But I have my little bookshelf one.
Yeah.
That will be mine to build, and then we have Gringotts that needs to be built at some point.
It's gonna be a lot.
It is. It's massive. I think it's like 4 foot tall.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Where are you going to store that?
So there is a company in the UK that sells custom-made cases for Legos.
Okay.
So first off, I have to order one of those because they do have one for the Gringotts Lego set. Because I have dogs, they have tails.
Oh, that's gonna go.
And I don't want them to hit something that I spent like weeks building, right? So we need to buy the case first, and then we are going to mount it to the wall in my loft and have it on display in the loft, which would be really cool. And the Gringotts one has like the bank on top, and then it does like this like train thing that goes down it, and there's like a dragon and stuff like that. And my brother and his wife gifted it to us for Christmas a couple years ago, and their only condition was that Jack and I build it together.
That's cute though.
Right, so they're like, this isn't just for you to build, like we want you guys to do this as a couple, as a project together. And I'm like, okay, like fair.
As long as I don't have to cook with my husband, we're good.
My husband likes to do all the cleaning at the end.
So does mine, and I want to clean up as I go, because the last thing I want to do is after I've spent an hour cooking.
Is to spend an hour cleaning.
I'd rather add that time into what I'm doing, but also with his ADHD, he can't clean as he goes because he'll forget about something on the stove in the oven and then everything's burnt and it's not great.
Goodness.
But
I've just noticed that if Jack and I are both cooking together, we have to have very clearly defined roles of who's doing what things. Like you're the vegetable chopper, and you're cooking the meat. But once like the meat's cooked and we put the veggies in for the sauce and building the sauce and stuff like that, that's all on me. Because I'll go through and think he's done with something and clean it up. And then he's like, wait, where'd that bowl go? And I'm like, oh, it's already in the machine.
I already cleaned up after you.
Or I threw it away, or I put it back in the fridge. Let me get it out again for you. I thought you were done.
Sorry. Yeah.
But yeah, we work better if we know who's
so
the
you define roles.
Yeah, who's the what's it called? The foreman, and who's the contractor? Like, who's in charge of it, and who's like the builder gopher person? I'm usually the gopher. Like, let's be realistic. He has a honey-do list already.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cleaning up the dye area is one of those on the honey-do list.
Cleaning up the garage, getting everything like put away in there so that we have a nice empty space in it.
Beautiful.
That's a huge thing. We have a single LED light bulb that is out in the kitchen, which is funny because last time he was here, he replaced a different one. So I feel like every time he leaves, there's just going to be another one that goes out. So he has to replace that. And then I think we need the new, like faucets have that little filter on it.
Oh, a new.
Yeah, so I think the kitchen one and the master bathroom my sink needs new ones because it'll drip after it's been on. So I think it's an easy fix, but it's a him job.
Yeah. It's not a me job.
Yeah. So he has that, and then we have stuff at his mom's house that needs to be done. Of course. Dog poo needs to be cleaned up.
Curtains. Is that on the list somewhere?
It's not currently on the list. We'll see where we're at. He's here for 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
We'll see where we're at with other things. The issue with the curtains are that my husband bought metal pipes, and he has all the tools to thread them and prep them to mount them to the walls, okay? So he likes the pipes because they are sturdy. You don't have to worry about like them bowing in the middle or coming off the walls because it's, I don't know. We have them in our master bedroom, okay, with our curtains. And he is so confident in this installation and the weight it can carry. He says if there's a fire, we can rappel from them out the window downstairs. And I'm like, okay, well, first off, each of us is going to be carrying a dog.
Second off, that's not happening.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know how that will work, but he's like, these are sturdy as heck. So our back door has 4 glass panels on it. It's a massive door. We found one curtain rod that could span the length of it because it's freaking
huge.
And it was bowing after less than a year, and it was coming off after less than a year. So he has all the things for it. He's done a lot of the prep work. The pipes are sitting in our backyard. They've been in our backyard for a while. I want to say a year at this point.
Yeah.
So we have to paint them, and then he has to do something else. I think he has to drill holes or something.
Oh, tough.
But he even did it, like, he thought really hard about how to do them because it's secure. The upstairs ones are secured to a wall in this way that you take a hex key and you twist it on a certain part and it comes out so you can take the curtains down and wash them.
Okay.
So that's amazing, but I don't know what else he has to do on it.
Okay.
I think we definitely have to paint them, and then he has to do something else with it that is gonna, I think he has to cut the length or something.
Oh, that's work.
Because that's gonna send little metal shards everywhere.
Yeah.
And I am charged with holding the end of it. And last time we did this with the upstairs ones, I was like, is this gonna, like, am I gonna have a problem with stuff flying places? And he's like, no, you'll be fine. Okay, cut to me closing my eyes while I'm holding this piece of metal, okay? And I open my eyes when he's done, and I am covered in metal shavings.
Yeah, that tracks.
So when we do it for these ones, I have iPro for dyeing. I'm going to be wearing iPro because girl has anxiety, and I tend to fixate on things, and last thing we need is to think that I have a metal shard in my eye when I really don't.
Right.
But we'll see. Hopefully it'll get done.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Depends.
It would be nice. The summer is coming. We have UV canceling.
The screens.
Well, they're not screens. The screens are already in.
Yeah.
We have, our curtains are blackout curtains, and they have the UV resistant on them. So it really does. We do see a difference in the temperature inside when those curtains are up. So we'll hopefully...
Which will save your electric bill a little bit, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, and the dogs' kennels are downstairs now, so they're... If it gets hot down here, they're hot. So
yeah. And we don't want that for them.
Even with the AC on.
Yeah.
I know. Goodness. Okay. So we're going to go because I have about 20 minutes before I need to leave for the airport to go pick up my honey bunny. And we still have a couple of business things to talk about before we leave. And I also apparently have a heffalump who wants to go potty again.
Yep.
She's super. She drinks a lot of water. I know. Always has been.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will see you guys in a month, I want to say.
Something like that.
Probably like 5 weeks because we were supposed to podcast next week, but it's Memorial Day weekend. We have other plans happening. So we podcasted a week early. So we will see you guys in 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we will hopefully have some more updates for you on what's going on with the shop and upcoming events and everything.
Right.
And yeah, we will talk to you guys soon.
Bye. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Get down. Thank you.